Mike, I'm really stoked about today's topic, and the topics over the next few episodes of Halt and Call for Backup is doing a deep dive into the 12-step program. I've been thirsting to do this for a while now. You do so much behind the scenes as a counselor, working with first responder wellness, developing your own telehealth meetings that I'd love for you to talk about more. But Mike, jump in here. I'd love for you to just let it rip and let this audience learn from you.
Oh, thanks, Jim. That was so nice of you. I don't look at myself as a guru at anything. I look at myself as working a program of recovery. And for me, the thing that I kept farthest away from my life was an organized recovery meeting, specifically Alcoholics Anonymous or any 12-step based meeting that I figured out after I pretty much lost everything and started my new life in recovery. This is the thing that saved my life. And I was so astounded when I found out, and I was thinking about my life when I walked into rehab and they're having a meeting outside, and I think they were holding hands and doing whatever it was. And I had that feeling like, wow, I'm here. And then I thought to myself, how am I going to get out of this? And my next thought was, is this program going to save me? Is this the only thing that I have left that I haven't tried yet? And it was. And it was amazing to dive into it and discover what it's all about. I was uncomfortable. I was unsure. I was untrusting. And I knew that eventually, after working with counselors and recovery and therapists, and especially in the rehab that I went to, I found that it was usually about me. It wasn't about what I was experiencing. It was about how I was experiencing from the inside. So the 12 steps can shy people away from recovery because they talk about religion. They talk about God a lot. It's a spiritual program. It's non-denominational. It was developed way back in the 30s. And it was first made public. The big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, what they call it, the AA book, that was made back in 1939, April 1939. So it's been a long time. It's saved a lot of people. And it's a really good way to live your life, is working these steps, and working on meaning, incorporating these steps into your life. And if you can do that openly and honestly, which I did, and I knew that I had one shot at it, to make sure that I was open and honest from the very start. And I learned the first acronym of recovery is how it works. Okay. How it works is a chapter in the book, and it has the 12 steps. How stands for honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. So I had to start that and incorporate that in my life. And I went down the steps for the very first time. I looked at them and I was amazed. I felt pretty dumb because I never researched it before. And I always thought it was negative, these meetings, and they call that contempt prior to investigation. And when I read down those 12 steps, I was amazed, like, I could do this. I really can do this. I need some people that know to guide me through this. And I'm going to be able to have a better life, live a better life, and stay sober, in my case, for sure. But you can plug in whatever you're working on into these 12 steps. It doesn't have to be alcohol. It doesn't have to be drugs. It could be PTS. It could be depression. It could be anxiety. Be a combination of all kinds of things. It could be a sexual issue that you're dealing with. It could be pornography, gambling, you name it. You can work these steps, and it just takes some time. It takes some patience. It takes dropping that control and working from 1 to 12. And it's recommended that you get someone in your life that you trust, that have been through these steps, that know what they mean, that are living a good life, and they'll be able to guide you. And a lot of places call them sponsors. Getting a sponsor to just like walk you through it, going to meetings, hanging out with people that are in recovery. It helps when you're in recovery for the same reason. So you sort of get each other more. Just like at First Responder Wellness, everybody's in recovery for a lot of different things. But our common denominators were all former or current first responders. So that's how I got to the 12 steps, Jim. And what I did was I took them I'll read them. And then I formulated the 12 steps for anybody. I took out all those hot points in them and it's made it just general stuff that anybody can do. I don't care what you believe in. You don't have to believe in anything. It's just a good way of life. What do you
Yeah.
think about that?
I love it. And it's wisdom. We talked before about finding wisdom, seeking wisdom. And I've always felt that the 12 steps were an amazing wealth of wisdom. And I love how you took out the hot points, so to speak, maybe to make it more palatable for people who don't have a faith or aren't comfortable in religiosity, but just need a group, just need a 12-step program that speaks to them. And I love how you did it. How did you determine the hot points? Was that just from experience, hearing other people talking about them, your own experience with them?
A lot of people are traumatized by religion. They might have been forced into it as a child. That's where it starts a lot of times. They might have experienced things. A lot of us go through life and say, well, God, if there is a good God, how come this good God can make all these things happen? Right. And if you are in part of a religion, that could be explained and understood to the best of that person's ability to explain these things. But a lot of times we push our faith, our belief, our God, our higher power. We sort of push that part of our life out of the way. And we sort of don't want to dive back into them again. So when it's thrown onto our face, we get triggered sometimes. Some of us do. And that's okay, because I made this more open to anybody listening to this right now that have never heard of the 12 steps or heard of them and never researched them. And I think that it might be really educational to learn about it a little bit and talk about it and go through it. I talk to first responders all the time, and a lot of times in groups, the topic of 12 steps might come up. And I'll ask them, I go, does anybody know what the 12 steps are? Has anybody ever researched it? Almost always, there's probably maybe one person or no people that have ever even looked into it. Why not? Right? Why not? Your car's having problems. You're going to research, how to rebuild a carburetor or whatever you're doing, right? You're going to research things. When it comes to our health, when it comes to our emotional stability and to be more grounded and stable in life, why not give it a shot? What's it going to hurt? So you want me to go through it right now?
I'd love for you to lean into this, Mike. Go ahead and let it rip.
Okay, buddy. All right. So this is the original 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. And it states, here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. Not telling you have to do anything, right? When you suggest something, it's a lot easier to hear. Okay, number 1, we admitted we're powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. Number 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. And number 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. So those are the original 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous.
And then when you made the revisions,
Yes.
how did you revise all that?
Well, I just took out anything that would be triggering to anybody that just heard that, because that might invoke some kind of things inside, like, wow, they said God a lot. And they say, I don't know, it just seems very religious, right? And it's a personal thing for me, okay? Like it is. And that's why it hit me so hard when I saw this, because I'm thinking, you know what? There could be an easier way around this. These are principles, these steps are guides for you to live a better life. And you don't have to go to church every Sunday. You don't have to believe in whatever. You can actually live these steps. And if if you want to be a better person, if you want to hang around people that are good people with integrity, I strongly suggest you look at these things. For me personally, I don't have people in my life that talk bad about other people, that gossip about other people, that are rude to other people, that make fun of other people. I just cannot have that in my life. I don't agree with that. I don't care who you are. If you're a famous actor or a business worker, I don't care. It's just, I don't need that in my life. I'm not a part of that. I don't think it's right. So these are the simplified 12 steps for a better life. You can name it that or whatever you want to name it. So number 1, we admitted we had a problem and that our lives had become unmanageable. So honesty starts here. Something's not working and we can't keep doing it alone. Number 2, we came to believe that change is possible with help from something greater than just ourselves. Okay, so we opened up to the idea of support, community, a bigger perspective, and it can help us heal. Number 3, we decided to commit to a path of growth and let go of trying to control everything. We choose a process of change instead of relying on our own will. 4, we took an honest look at ourselves, our actions, patterns, and past. Self-reflection. Number 5, we admitted our struggles, mistakes, and truths out loud to ourselves and to someone we trust. Number 6, we became ready to change the thoughts and behaviors that no longer serve us. We're preparing ourselves to mentally and emotionally grow. 7, we worked on letting go of harmful patterns and made space for better ones. Number 8, we made a list of people we hurt, and we became willing to make things right. Taking responsibility matters, even if we're not perfect. Number 9, we made amends wherever possible, unless doing so would cause more harm. 10, we kept checking in with ourselves, admitting when we were wrong and making adjustments. Self-awareness, again, keeps us on track. Number 11, we took time daily for reflection, mindfulness, and meditation to stay grounded and focused. And 12, having gone through this process, we aim to support others and live by these values. We shared and we've learned and try to live with purpose and, most importantly, integrity. And there you have it.
What's been your experience with these revised steps? I know you have several online 12-step programs that you have developed or have encouraged. What's the feedback?
Yeah, a while ago I changed it to more of a peer support fellowship. So I did the same thing with the agenda for those meetings too. They were strictly AA based, just for first responders, but everything else was AA based. So if you went to a Alcoholics Anonymous meeting outside, you'd probably hear the same type of things. And so I wanted to make it more inclusive of everyone that's suffering, that wants that connection, that's afraid to have that connection. It's open to any first responder, former or current. And there's other meetings out there too. I mean, anybody can put together a meeting if they want to, and you could base it on this. And a lot of people have taken these 12 steps and made it their own meeting out of them, right? It's not a harmful thing. It's a great thing to do. So there's meetings throughout the week. I know some that are specifically 12-step, but a lot of them for first responders are just general fellowship meetings. So, I mean, if you're suffering from alcohol issues, I would strongly suggest go straight AA. Go to an AA meeting. I'd focus on that. Get through that and stay sober no matter what, and stay connected with people in the community. If you're a first responder and worried about going to a meeting, you know what? If you go to a meeting and you see someone in there that you've known or you arrested, well, guess what? They're in a meeting too. There's a reason for that, right? So there's not going to be a big fight or people talking about you. For me, recovery means honesty and openness and trusting myself, and maybe for the first time, loving myself, right? So I want to be able to be open about what I'm doing, because it's none of my business what other people think about me or say about me. My business is what I think about myself. And that's where I have to start, right here. It's an inside job. Didn't we do a podcast on an inside job before?
We absolutely did. We absolutely did. And we talk about that a lot too. It's not my concern. It's not my business what other people think. It's my business what I think about me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how I'm responding. But
so I think that moving forward, like talking about these 12 steps, great, because some people never heard of them before, and they might have shied away from them in the past. But I think that we could open it up moving forward and like go through each step, like have a little podcast for each step, go through it, talk about it for some time, and just get it out there. Because who knows? I mean, it's going to help some people. It might get them in the rooms. It might get them to call us. It might get them to call somebody, or speak their truth to somebody and say, look, I'm going through this. I don't know what to do. But I've made it simple so you can see it better, and it's more suggestive than anything else. I mean, you could choose to do this or not choose to do it. That's your right. You can do whatever you want to do in life. But I found out that when I was tired enough of losing, when I was tired enough of suffering, when I was done, I was done. And sometimes it takes us really low, to the lowest places ever, where we don't have many other options. However, if we choose to get recovery, we can finally get out of that spot we're in. It's going to take time, right? Everything takes time, Jim. Patience. We're not really great at patience and giving up control. A lot of times we'll give up control and be patient for a little while until we feel better, and we'll go up. I'm going to take that control back. I'm taking that patience back too. I'm good. I got fixed. I'm ready to rock and roll.
right. Through the years, as I progressed and became a licensed therapist, and I had the absolute privilege of working with some amazing clinical teams, total all adult men's addiction recovery, co-ed facilities, women's facilities, I have found the value. And as I reflect on the people in my life, most of my friends these days, most of my colleagues these days are in active recovery. I have been blessed to have met and continue to meet some of the most amazing people on this planet who have walked the walk and now are talking the talk, taking care of their business. They have such wisdom that they can give to folks and have given to me. I sit back and I've learned more. I think I was talking about this a couple of podcasts ago. I really learned how to roll with resistance. From the KDAC counselors. I could see it in action. I mean, these people were getting blasted by their clients of why they weren't going to attend, treatment, why they weren't going to go to a 12-step meeting, why they objected that this particular facility, as part of the program, demanded that you will attend meetings and you will have a sponsor and you will work the program. And to watch these KDAC counselors in action, not get upset, but what is that? Love, but be direct at the same time. And one of the things I've learned a lot about the KDAC counselors is they have a really good bullshit meter, and they have the ability to just speak the truth, right? Like what you say, Mike. What is it you say? Be strong, stand up, speak your truth. Is that how it goes?
Right.
Yeah, thanks. And the counselors do that all the time without getting pissed off, without getting frustrated. And I'm like, holy moly, I can learn from these people.
It's a practice.
Yeah.
It's like being a therapist, just being a doctor or whatever it is. It takes time to get into that groove and roll with resistance. Because what do you have? I don't believe personally, I won't force anybody to do anything. I will strongly suggest they do things, but if they don't do them, I'm just not going to either do them or don't do them.
Right.
right? I recommend that you do these things, at least explore it. But if you're closed off, it's just like, what can I do? That's what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do? Can you meet me halfway? Like, can you just like, you're here in my office, you're here talking to me about these things. Can we make some plan to doing something?
Right.
I'm not going to talk down to you. I'm just going to say, okay, let's just meet you where you're at, and let's
Yeah.
work from there, because at least a little help is better than no help at all. And maybe it'll plant that seed down the road. Oh, you have my number. Call me a call. I'm not going to talk down to you. I'm not going to say I told you so. I'm going to give you a big hug, brother or sister. I'm going to say, look, let's get to work. You want to do something different this time?
Yeah.
Sometimes
And
they do.
the ripple effect too, not just affecting them, but affecting their families, affecting their loved ones, affecting their careers, affecting their health. It's not just about them when you're caught in mental wellness, addiction, and recovery. There's about a lot of things going on at the same time. And you can see why the families are hurting. You can see why the families are disappointing. You can see why the families are encouraging. Please get some help.
Exactly. And it just takes time. It really
Yeah.
does. And so that's the 12 steps of recovery. And I hope everybody got a little something out of it. Maybe piqued your curiosity meter. You can go research it. And then moving forward, stand by for some other good ones that we're going to be putting out there. I've got another one too about the promises. Let me know about that, but we'll keep that for next time.
Absolutely. Let's dive into the promises, Mike. Let's dive into each step one at a time. Let's break it down for everybody. And I still learn as I listen to you and watch you in action. I still learn from you, brother. And I remembered, thanks. I remembered one thing I learned so many years ago was the addiction's doing the talking right now. Don't get pissed off. It's doing the talking.
It's hard. And it's hard.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother, story behind this one too. But a lot of times we get, it's hard to let go. It's saying like goodbye to a lover or a friend or someone that's like so part of your life, right? You're having an affair with this other thing that's controlling your life. And, it's a weird economy, but it's once you get through it, you're going to have a really good life and know how to handle things differently without
Yep. 100%. Mike, do you ever, I think you spoke of this before, but I'm just in my mind, I'm wondering about this. Do you ever help other people develop these kinds of programs? Do other people ever reach out to you and say, Mike, I love your model of the 12 steps. Can you help me do this and form a group, clear across the United States?
Of course, you got my number. You got my email address, 760-224-6631. The email is on the show notes. And give me a call. Give me an email. I'll help anybody. I don't care if you're a first responder or not. If you want to get something going, why not? I'll give you what I got, So
Beautiful. When are the groups that you're involved in? I think you're doing a Sunday group. Is that right?
yeah, Sunday night group via Zoom, and there's groups throughout the whole week. I BCC email hundreds of first responders, former and current, and they get all that information. So when and if they're ready to go to one of them, it takes a little bit of guts and courage to pop on these things. It's scary, but it's not really a big deal once you do it.
One of the cool things, Mike, about your groups is I'm part of Focus down in San Diego for emergency responders. And there was a group email that came out. This was a number of months ago. And one of the clinicians, because I had brought it up at one of our supervision meetings, that you have these first responder meetings that you have developed. And so this flash message came out and said, where is the contact info for these meetings? Because they had people that they wanted to encourage to attend. And so I said, here's the emails. This is how you find when Mike is doing the Zoom groups and stuff. And so that's been spinning around at Focus down in San Diego too. So it's for the listeners, the ability to have that as a resource. Hey, where are the meetings? I don't know, but Mike Cook knows.
Yeah. Yeah, I know where a lot of them are, and they're growing too. As people get recovery, especially first responders that come through our program, they're all over the place, all over the country, really. And they develop their own, meetings. Sometimes it's just with them, their own peers. There are 5 or 6 first responders that are keeping in touch with each other. Sometimes they open up bigger ones too. And a lot of times you'll get a number to call. Just call that number, and then they can sort of vet you out, see who you are, and get you on that meeting. And you're welcome no matter what. You're part of the family. And there's other people out there that that aren't first responders or never been first responders. There's help available for everyone. There is. There's no excuse. There's no excuse but the ones I make up in my head.
Yeah. Lastly, Mike, and then we'll shut it down here. You are also quite knowledgeable about all of the other types of recovery programs. I mean, a number of podcasts ago, you just spit them out. It can be smart recovery. It can be, and you just went for it, all the different ones that are out there. You up for doing shows on each of those as well?
Of course. Yeah. We can have people on here that actually lead those meetings. There's refuge recovery, Dharma recovery. There's Life Ring. There's smart recovery too. Self-management and recovery training. They don't talk about God or anything. They just have these meetings and they do a little homework and get together as a group, and they're all suffering from whatever they're suffering from. And of course, there's Celebrate Recovery. It's done usually in a church. And if you're into church and that kind of stuff, those are perfect for you. Perfect for you. Even church goers have problems too, Jim.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's hard. And it's a stigma there too. I mean, it's a stigma to say, oh, well, you're not perfect, Mike. You're not perfect, Mike, that is always buttoned up and has this shiny face on him and believes in all this great stuff. You have a problem. Yeah, I got some problems here, and I'm afraid to tell you because you're going to make fun of me, right? And that's where we keep shut up. We keep quiet about these things. We don't talk about these things. We sweep them under the rug until the rug is just filled with a bunch of stuff on it. We can't even walk over the rug anymore, right? I'm to flatten out that rug, bro.
It is.
Flatten out that rug.
Well, everybody, stand by, everybody. We're going to dive into 12 steps and beyond. Mike Cook's going to lead the way for this. That's Mike Cook over there. He's in Southern California. What KDAC level are you? Are you 2 or 3?
I'm just a 2.
You're just a 2.
They came up with a 3. I'm like, what is the point? Like, what? I have to show everybody that I'm like 3 now? I mean, if there's going to be a 4 and a 5, I'm just good with KDAC. I'm just good that I'm able to say, okay, I'm certified as a counselor. Boom. I'm good. There we go.
Yeah.
Do they have a doctor 1, 2, and 3? Do they have a freaking therapist 1, 2, and 3?
They got a lot of DSMs. We're on DSM 5 TR now, so I don't know.
Well, DSM 5, but that's different. They'll keep adding that too.
They'll keep revising everything.
Anyway,
congratulations, Mike, on all the great things. That's Mike Cook over there. He's over there in beautiful Southern California, where he works for First Responder Wellness. For those of you in the audience don't know about Mike's story, legend in law enforcement profession, had some struggles, turned his life around. Now he's on this side of it, helping others. And me, I spent a long time being an ocean lifeguard, police officer, EMT. I'm a wannabe paramedic, and I decided to jump into being a licensed therapist specializing in emergency responders. Mike and I met a number of years ago, and it's been magic ever since.
It is magic. And I love how you do. That's Jim McLintock over there in South Carolina, rocking and a rolling and is spitting out his knowledge of just love, peace, and goodness. How's that?
That sounds perfect.
Thank you for all those great words.
Back at you, brother. We'll see you, everybody. We'll see you on the next show. Stand by for more Mike Cook, who's going to lead us into the 12-step program in an amazing way. For those of you out there that want to learn more about it, or you think you know a lot about it and want to learn more, or the family members that want to learn more, stay tuned and pass on the link to others. We are going to dive into this stuff, and it's going to be magnificent.
And remember to halt and call for backup.
Don't get fooled again.